Yo, what is good with y'all? In this tutorial, I'll be breaking down this super fire rotoscope effect. It's a really crazy one, and I'll show you how to create it with and without plugins. I actually got inspiration from someone in my Discord who created something similar, and I decided to make my own version of the effect and make a tutorial of it. So shout out to him, and let's get right into this video. Yo, before we get into this tutorial, I just want to let you guys know that my new plugin TXTFX is finally out for After Effects. It's a plugin that allows you to create these text animations within just one click and also track them within like 2 clicks. So if you've been looking to create these text animations but don't want to spend 30 to 40 minutes every single time, then check the first link to the description, but let's get right into it. So I'm right here in After Effects and I have this yeat clip right there. I haven't rotoscoped him out yet, but of course that's the first step. So let's double click on our layer, select the roto brush tool and start rotoscoping out our subject. And my subject is moving a lot, so I'm going to have to be a bit picky with this mask. But if you want the cleanest mask possible, then of course pick a scene where subject doesn't move too much, and preferably a scene with high contrast. So basically a scene where subject kind of pops. But I'm done with the mask right now, and the first effect I'm going to add on is a refined soft matte. And let's turn down the additional edge radius to like 3.5. And then for the feather, I'll go for something like 7. This is just to make the edges a bit smoother. You can see if we turn it off and turn it on, we can tell that it's a lot smoother with the refined soft matte turned on. But I'll turn up the feather a bit more. Let's go for like 10. And then let's go up to invert foreground/background and select that one. So now I've inverted my subject and now it's just completely black. So now to get some footage in here, let's duplicate this layer and remove every single effect from this one. And now of course we just have the normal clip. But to create this effect, I'll be using the Sapphire RandomEdits effect. So if you do have Sapphire, then you can go for this effect. But if you don't have Sapphire, then just go for the time warp effect instead and set the speed to 100 and keyframe that, and then drag this keyframe out of frame, so back there. And then here you can just drag up the speed to like, let's say 2000. So you'll get random clips right here. And that's basically the same look that we will get with the random edits. And then if you want some motion blur with the time warp, then just go down to enable motion blur, change it to manual, turn up the shutter angle to 360. And then for the shutter samples, go for something like 30. You could go a lot higher, but my PC can't handle that, so I'm gonna stop at 30. But if you decide to use random edits instead, I'd choose a pretty low edit frame length, so like 1.5. That's maybe a bit too low. I'll go for like 2.5 instead, and that looks a bit better in my opinion. And then what I'll do is like every 5 frames, I'll make my subject come back, like kind of how it looks right here. So I'll just cut that frame for just 1 frame and remove the random edits effect, so it looks normal. And then like here again, I'll do the same thing, so it looks normal. I'll actually do it a bit more often so it kind of flickers. Looks really sick. And I'll go ahead and do that every few frames like that. Now this effect looks really cool. I'm a huge fan of this. And we can spice it up even more by adding an adjustment layer and drag it underneath the top layer. And for this one, you can add the RSMB effect if you do have the plugin. If not, I'll just go for the CC Force Motion Blur just to get some motion blur in here. So I'll drag up the motion blur samples to 250. Shutter angle, let's just go for 360. And this effect is also very heavy, so I'm going to lower my quality to 3rd. And then of course turn on native motion blur. Actually looks a lot cleaner at 180 for the shutter angle, so I'm going to keep it at that. And then turn my quality down to 1/4 because it's a very heavy effect. But yeah, this is what we got now. It's a super fire effect. I'm a huge fan of this one. But this is what we got now, and it looks so fire. I'll just spice it up a bit more by adding an adjustment layer at the top as well. Adding something like a radial blur to this one can make it a lot cooler. So just turn down the amount to like 5, something like that, maybe even 4. And then I'm also go for a chromatic aberration from Universe, just to drag in the edges like that, and also add a lens texture. And I'm gonna go for the dried one. Now let's go for frozen. That's cool. And then hey, I'm pretty happy with that. And this is what we got now. Super fire. One last thing I want to do is add on a shake at the start. And of course, the best and easiest way to do this is by using the VFX kit. And if you don't know already, VFX kit is my plugin with over 175 presets that you can apply with 1 click. Check it out. All I do is open the shakes tab and pick one of these shakes. You can see we have live previews of every single one. And let's say I want to go for the wiggle clean at the start. Actually, I'll delete my adjustment layer because the VFX kit can add it for me by just clicking at the button. And now you can see we have the shake at the start. Did not have to cut that, did not have to add it manually or do anything. Just by the click of a button, we got this. And also the VFX Kit V2.0 comes with an AI assistant where all you need to do is add your song, add a prompt like high energy in here, and then choose the amount of effects you want, and then click go, and the VFX kit can automatically add these effects to a full music video. It's a super fire plugin. I'll leave a link to the description. And by the way, this plugin only adds VFX. It does not cut your videos, but I've got some questions if the plugin is able to edit your music video for you, like cutting it up. But yeah, it's the VFX kit, so it doesn't do that. It's just mainly adding VFX to your music video. But yeah, this is the final effect. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.